Hey, good day and welcome. This is Roger Martin. This is Dr. Janda, and this this man is going to interview Bill Feeney and Kirk Eby, great NSA whistleblowers way back in the early 2000s. And they have always been NSA has always been into things that it shouldn't be. Our internet, our telephone, our finances, way overkill. Way too much information for the government to be going after.
Freedom and our platform, DaveJanda.com. We upload a tremendous amount of information on DaveJanda.com, both on the public side as well as the subscription side. Subscription side, 30 cents a day, biggest bang for the buck. You have our podcast from our Sunday show, our Insider Insight shows, our WTF shows of geopolitical analysis, our Department of Advanced Research shows. Today I want to do something a little bit different. I had the distinct pleasure and honor and opportunity to interview two individuals who have been freedom fighters of the highest order. They are NSA whistleblowers. They are probably two of the most feared people by the deep state, Bill Benny and Kurt Eby. They became whistleblowers many years ago, actually back in October of 2001, when they took on the NSA and the mass surveillance programs that were occurring about monitoring every person's phone calls, emails, internet activities, financial transactions. They are the ones who blew the whistle. They also paid a huge price. I recently had an opportunity to interview both of them, and we discussed issues relevant to today. They remain very active in the surveillance national security world. In fact, they've just opened a venture program looking at mass surveillance and what's happening and what can be done to enhance every person's freedoms and liberties and safety and security. In this clip, we specifically speak about the issue of declassification and what it means about the declassification of the FISA warrants of Carter Page. Many people have said, oh, it's not really that important, that relevant. In fact, as you'll see in this clip, it's very relevant and very, very important for all of our freedoms and all of our liberties. The interview I did with Bill and Kirk lasts well over an hour. We are going to feature it on our platform and our Insider Insight show. But I wanted to give you an indication of the information that they provided, and I believe it's of utmost importance that we get this out, and which is why I'm presenting it on our public platform as well. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find it instructive. You can always join us for our radio show every Sunday, which is live, 2 to 5 Eastern. You can stream it at davejanda.com. Just hit the upper right-hand corner. It's free. If you can't join us, you can always get the podcast through our subscription service, as well as the Insider Insight show, which Bill and Kirk were our illustrious guests on a particular segment of Insider Insight. And also you can join us with our WTF show and the Department of Advanced Research show, our Hellcat briefing size, and the like. So again, I hope you enjoy this portion of the interview. I hope you find it beneficial and empowering, because these are the ultimate freedom fighters when it comes to taking on the deep state. Until next time, this is Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail. I hope you enjoy our interview with Bill and Kirk. What do you predict? We'll end it. We'll end it with this. Where do you see our country and the world going as it relates to this issue of, because really this declassification, I believe, is, as you said, Kirk, if these documents are not declassified, we never get to the truth.
Yep, exactly.
We're doomed. We're doomed. Not just the United States. I believe the world. Now, those people outside the window say that's hyperbole, that's crazy, that's just over the top talk. Where do we go? Where do you see this going? Do you believe in your heart of hearts that we are going to get to the truth? Or do you believe that this is just going to get pushed aside? Because I believe the deep state is trying to create a situation somewhere around the world, whether it's in the Ukraine or China or wherever it might be, to, if you will, create an event so that we stop talking about what we've talked about in this interview.
Well, you're exactly right. And pushing it aside, they've already been doing that for the last month and a half or so.
Right.
You're trying to keep it alive. I know Sean Hannity's trying to keep it alive. Sarah Carter and John Solomon and his sources.
Now you need to understand those sources just mentioned are important. Those sources mentioned are important. You might want to review that.
Cannot let it die. We have to keep raising it and say, what about? When are you going to? It's not okay to allow such dire matters involving our fundamental principles to just be ignored.
September 17th, Donald Trump came out and said, this information, including some FISA documents that we've spoken about, need to be declassified, unredacted, September 17th, 2018. Months later, we wait.
Yep.
Exactly.
Well, I think, everybody's piling on. The shadow government, the deep state, the foreign relationships, they're all coming in, trying to push him to stop that, not do it. That's I think, what caused him to hesitate. Hopefully he will not stop, and he will, in fact, expose these papers.
Two scenarios. One, he declassifies. Two, he doesn't declassify. Paint me a picture of both scenarios.
Now, what we don't talk about in here, doesn't look like that they're talking about, is the military already has much of this information. Even though it hasn't been declassified, they have it. I believe that's his ace in the hole. We will see.
Estimate. I'm a mathematician. I calculate the probabilities.
Yes.
I think the probability of him declassifying it or not declassifying it is an 80-20. 80% chance he won't, 20% chance he will. Because of all the efforts and all the people both in Congress too. The Congress is a part of this too.
Oh, yes, they are.
They're also involved here. They're pushing too. And so is the Pentagon, all the departments of government, and foreign relations. They're coming through with ambassadors and so on, saying things. And is it a council, his advisors are saying these things. Bolton is one of the ones who's an advocate for basically killing everybody in the world except us, I think. But
well, you never know. We might be in that soup too, Bill.
I know it's crazy. I mean, we're doing these crazy things all around the world, and they're all coming in trying to put pressure on him not to do that. So I think, and I think that's quite a lot of pressure for one man to stop and buck. So, but I think the probability is my 80% he won't, 20% he will, and it's going to be bad for democracy for the world.
So there you are. If these insider guys say that 80% likely chance he won't declassify it, and if this happens and it's not declassified, I think we're done for as a democracy worldwide. Tremendous pressure, to say the least.
If he doesn't.
And if he does, paint me a picture what happens, Kurt.
If he does release it, there'll be massive investigations. Of course, the liberals, parts of government will try to attenuate or eliminate any of that. But I think the uproar of the American people would be a tremendous factor in influencing Congress's next steps. People would just be insane with anger and demand that the system be corrected.
And if he doesn't, Bill, we're doomed, as we spoke earlier. Is that it?
Yeah, I think we're seeing the death of democracy. Yeah.
All right, so there you go. It all depends whether or not this stuff is released and the American citizens come up in an uproar and support it, or it's not released and the deep state, the dark state, the elites win. It's that simple. And there's Roger Martin for Billings, Montana. Good day.